Hey vinyl community, welcome to another episode of RB's Vinyl Corner. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about one of the greatest debut albums of all time, which is the first album by American-British rock band Foreigner. An album that sounds as fresh today as it did almost 45 years ago when it was released. And in addition to this one, I'm also going to talk about a more recent release, which is called Foreigner Live at the Rainbow 78. And this is a fantastic live album that was recorded during the tour in support of their debut album. Now, before we're going to go into this, I just want to take a short moment to promote my Instagram page. I'm close to 250 members at this point, but it would be great if you could actually add a 0 behind that number. If you are curious about all the stuff that I'm listening to at the moment, then my Instagram page is the place to be, because obviously I listen to a lot more stuff than only the Elvis Presley and Shaky Stevens things that I'm posting here on my YouTube channel. So please visit my Instagram page. You can click on this link below the video, or you can scan this QR code here, visit it, become a follower, and let's have some great discussions there also about music. Well, I hope you're going to enjoy this video. See you in a moment. So here we are. Today we're going to talk about the debut album, the titleless debut album by the band Foreigner. And this album is going to celebrate its 45th anniversary next year. So it's almost 45 years old. This was released in March 1977, but recorded in 76, in November of 76. What a great album this is. A while ago, I made a video about albums that I considered perfect albums. And a perfect album, in my opinion, is an album that only has killers and no fillers. So each and every song of this album is just good in its own right. Songs that you will not skip. If you have an album and you would never skip a song because you just truly enjoy each and every song, we talk about a perfect album. And this album absolutely meets those standards. There is not a single dull moment on this album, and there is not a single song that could not have been a hit single in its own right. Now, they pulled only 3 from this album, but again, there are so many more songs in this album that could have been a hit by its own. It's simply that good. This album, the debut album, has their great hit, Cold as Ice. Everyone knows that song. If you don't know the song Cold as Ice, or at least have heard of it or heard it somehow, somewhere, then you probably have been living under a rock. Everyone knows that one. As probably everyone also knows I Want to Know What Love Is, which is not on this album, but is one of their biggest hit singles ever. So Cold as Ice is actually the song that drew my attention into the band. I already knew I Want to Know What Love Is before that, but it was Cold as Ice that spawned my interest in the band. But the vocals of Lou Gramm, singer Lou Gramm, are outrageously good. This is, I don't want to say that he is underrated, because I think his quality is like, worldwide acknowledged. But he is really he is on the top of best rock vocalists of all time. And he should be in the top 10. He is that good. And he already is not part of the band anymore for a very, very long time. The last studio album he recorded with Foreigner was in 1991. But his work with Foreigner is considered classic stuff. And this album already shows how good this guy actually was. Cold as Ice is the one that spawned my interest, but there are so many more great songs on this one. It opens with Feels Like the First Time, which is already sets the tone for the whole album. Really, really good. Star Rider is a fantastic song. Star Rider is actually the lead vocals on this one are done by the founding member of this band, Mick Jones. He is the sole member today of Foreigner, so he's the only one left that's still driving this band today. And he does a great duty, but the song becomes great the moment both of them are gonna sing. And you might wonder why they not made a lot more songs together, because the combination of Mick Jones and Lou Gramm is actually fantastic. Star Rider is one of my personal favorites from this album. I really love that song a lot. And also I love it that they still play that song live on a very regular basis. On all of the live albums they recorded in later years, it pops up now and then. It's really, really good. Head Knocker, great rocker. Damage is Done, great song. On the B-side, it opens with Long, Long Way From Home. It's the song that Mick Jones actually wrote. Because he comes from England. And he moved to the US in halfway the 70s. And he wrote that song to actually touch on the topic of being so far from home. Really, really great song. Woman to Woman is another one that is where the lead vocals are done by Mick Jones, and it's another great song. It's really rocking. I really dig that one a lot. At War with the World, great song. Now we have Fool for You Anyway, which is a fantastic ballad. I think even Fool for You Anyway, I like it a lot more than I Want to Know What Love Is. It's a great song. And I Need You is the closing song of this album. Now let's have a look at the artwork. It's not really very standout artwork, but it's actually pretty nice. The band is called Foreigner, and you see these guys here standing. They are painted here. But the fun thing is, of course, is the 3 suitcases you see here. 1, 2, 3. It represents basically the 3 foreigners, the actual foreigners of this band, which are the guys that are coming from Britain. And those are Ian MacDonald, Mick Jones, and of course Dennis Elliott. And so that's actually a nice touch on the artwork of this album. It comes with this nice insert that wasn't included in my original copy, so I'm actually happy that I have it right now, because this also has the lyrics to all the songs that are on the album. So I'm really happy that I have that also. And then the actual album comes in white polyback inner sleeve, and it has this fantastic classic Atlantic label, which I actually really like. It's a very typical and recognizable label from Atlantic: green, orange, and white colors. So that's the debut album by Foreigner. Now, if you haven't heard this before, please look it up on Spotify or even here on YouTube, because it's really absolutely a great album. Now let's continue with a more recent release, which is Live at the Rainbow 78. This is released, I think 2 years ago, yes, 2019, by Eagle Rock Entertainment. Now, the last studio album Foreigner recorded was back in 2009, so that's already a long time ago. But ever since that studio album, they have been coming up with a lot of releases. Like, they almost come up every year with a new album, and they are always live albums. One of the most interesting live releases that came out in the last couple of years by Foreigner is this one, because this is not a new concert with the new setting. This is actually the original lineup performing at the famous Rainbow in England, in London, in 1978. And this was in support of their debut album, which we just talked about. And the great thing about this one is it was recorded toward the end of that tour. And they performed the whole debut album in its entirety. They didn't have any other songs at the point, I think, but they just performed it in its entirety. So this is a chance to listen to the whole thing live. And also what they did, because prior to this concert, they were already recording stuff for the new album, and the new album was about to be released after this tour, which of course is the album Double Vision, which is also a fantastic album. and 2 songs of that specific album. They also played already on this one, announcing it as 2 new songs from their upcoming album. And those are Hot Blooded and the title track, Double Vision. So we got all the songs from the debut album, plus 2 songs from the Double Vision album, performed live here. So this is Live at the Rainbow. I just wanted to show you this because from all the recent Foreigner releases, if you skip on all of those, this is the one you should get in your collection if you are a lover of Foreigner's music. Let's have a look at the inside. I love the inside. Look at that great picture there. I love it. And a lot of liner notes here about the show and about the energy of Foreigner live on stage. Let's take one out. The vinyl comes just in plain white inner blacks, poly-lined inner sleeves, with the artwork of the album, like the rainbow thing, on the actual label. And it's a double album. I'm just going to show you one of them because I know all the vinyl, it looks the same. It's all black. But it's always nice to see the labels also. Great album, guys. The sound of this is really amazing. I really enjoy playing this one. And I have a lot of Foreigner albums in my collection. I have almost all of them. I'm missing 1 or 2, but I almost have all of them. And this certainly is one of my favorites. So here you go. We have the debut album and Live at the Rainbow recorded at the tour in support of the debut album. Foreigner. Well, I hope you liked my video. Something different than I'm used to do. And of course, if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you didn't already do so. It's highly appreciated. And please comment in the comments below. And let's start a discussion about these albums. Let me know what you think about these albums. Let me know what your favorite songs are. Let me know what you do or do not like about the album. It's highly appreciated, and I will absolutely also respond to your comments. So thank you for tuning in, and I see you on the next video of RB's Vinyl Corner.